Hi, good morning. I'm Chef Regina and I'm here in Natchez, Mississippi. And we're kicking off the holidays. Thanksgiving is over and I love Christmas. So I'm going to talk about a great Christmas dessert because you can make it the day before. It's easy, everybody loves it. And we'll also talk about how you can adjust a basic recipe to really enhance the meal you're doing. And we'll talk about different flavorings and why you would switch it up. But let's talk about the basics of creme brulee, one of the easiest desserts in the world, I think. I even forget about it sometimes, and I really think I won't be going back to it because it's so easy and always impressive. So 3 cups of heavy cream, 6 to 7 egg yolks, depending. I like large ones, and I always consider that extra egg yolk insurance because it'll make sure it sets up properly. And the other thing about this is you can always go and get the recipe off of reginaskitchen.com. I've already put the recipe up for you. So, and then it's a 1/3 cup of sugar. You take your egg yolks, and when you separate them, this time of year, save those egg whites and make a really good thick meringue. And you can buy those little brownie bites at the store that are round, and you can top with meringue, and then you toast them like you do creme brulee, brown the meringue. And they're very festive and easy, and people will think that you really did something and all you did was not waste your egg whites. So anyway, again, egg yolks, cream, sugar, and vanilla is a key ingredient. And I like this pure vanilla bean paste. Vanilla extract is always acceptable, but when you get those little seeds from the vanilla bean, it really does enhance your recipe. I can't always find vanilla beans in Natchez, Mississippi, and if I do, they're like 100 years old, older than some of the houses here. So anyway, that's your basic creme brulee. Couple of little tips is you always get your milk or your cream. Don't use milk. It's got to be heavy cream. You get your cream up to temperature. You want it simmering but not boiling. And then you take your egg yolks and always make sure you mix them well with the sugar before you start tempering them with a little bit of the hot cream. I use the immersion blender, and that way you know that you're going to get it in fast enough. They're going to be mixed fast enough that you're not going to scramble your egg yolks. So immersion blender is a nice little tool. This is another tool that is really, I love. It's just a little mesh strainer. And when you're pouring your mixture into your cups, and I love this, you don't have to butter your cups or any of that. So you just pour it, and the strainer will help get the air bubbles out so you have a smoother top. It will also, if there are any little egg bits you don't want in there. So this is a great tool. And then any pan, and when you put your water in the pan, I always boil my water in the microwave in a cup before pouring into the pan. And the oven is usually 325 degrees, and it takes 35 minutes for these to cook depending on the size. You want them set in the center. Just a little touch will help you figure that out. Pretty simple. But let's talk about if it's not Christmas, or even if it is Christmas and you want to get a different flavor. First of all, you can take 5 ounces of chopped up good chocolate, and you can add it as you're adding your egg yolks to the warm cream. You stir in your chocolate, it will melt in there, and voila, chocolate creme brulee. Now, you can flavor the chocolate creme brulee. What I typically do is I'll melt my chocolate separate. I'll take half of my batter, the creme brulee mixture, and I'll use half plain vanilla, and then I'll use the chocolate. And you can, when I did these for today, I put a little raspberry jam in the bottom of a couple of the cups, so you can have a chocolate raspberry creme brulee. The other thing that I love to do, let's say I'm cooking Asian inspired food, then I would take a chai tea bag and I would steep that in the cream as I'm heating up the cream with some star anise and cinnamon, and it's wonderful with an Asian meal. The other thing, I love chocolate, and so if I'm doing Spanish or Mexican, I add, I love this chipotle chili pepper, and I put a little of that in my chocolate, and that's great. You could also add cinnamon with the hot pepper. So you can add whatever you want. If you want orange, you could put orange marmalade in the chocolate in the bottom, you know, whatever. So you can do that. So kind of think about what you're cooking and what flavors will go well with your meal. So anyway, I'm going to switch to this camera and I will show you these, what I've already done, and I'll bring one closer. So we will do this. All right. So you see I've got my chocolate ones and nice, like a glass top that I've already done. So we'll start with this, the sugar. And I usually put about a teaspoon at a time. And once I get it melted, then I'll add a little more as I go. You start getting those little bubbles, and you have to be a little careful because you will burn, you know, the faster those go, they will start. What I do is I kind of shake it and pour a little bit. So if it's kind of getting ahead of the other parts of the creme brulee, you can spread it around. And it certainly doesn't have, you know, doesn't hurt to have that burnt, you know, kind of that caramelized sugar taste. That is the whole idea of this dish. And it goes so well with chocolate and, of course, vanilla. I remember one time I wrote an article for The Atlantic, and it was, what flavor are you? And I've always kind of divided people up into 3 flavor profiles, and it's chocolate, caramel, or citrus, like strawberry or lemon tarts. But I think people who love caramel love chocolate as well. They're great combination. So doing a chocolate creme brulee is always a good idea. Oh, that's so pretty. Doug's going to be so happy when I bring these home for lunch. So I'm going to do a little more around the edges because you really want that effect when your spoon hits that sugar. You want to break it like you're cutting through glass. So these little, I don't know what this is even, you know, torch, but they're propane. They're great to have around a kitchen. So, you know, I just don't like doing creme brulee, trying to do it in the oven. It's never right. I think this, you have a lot more control. Now I see a little, like, unmelted sugar, and I'm just going to spread that. And it's hot enough that that will, yeah, so pretty. So, do you see how nice the vanilla and the chocolate ones are? So, I hope you enjoy this. And always, you know, if you have any questions or there's a video you want to see, go ahead and email me. Go to reginaskitchen.com. And I always like sharing my 50 years of being in the kitchen with you. I'm not perfect. I try my best, and, you know, we all just do the best we can when we go to cook. And the whole idea is that you have to remember, especially in the holidays, opening your home is gift enough. So just open your home and enjoy the holidays. Don't stress over it. Find some easy things to do. Buy some things. You know, I even heard that Popeyes is deep frying turkeys now. I mean, whatever. Just, I always say I'm a chef, not a martyr. You don't have to work so hard to enjoy your home and the holidays and your friends. So we'll see you soon. Bye now.